My name is Katie, and I'm 37 years old. Last year, I married my husband, Steve, and we bought a house together. Steve is 10 years younger than me, a detail I never expected to factor into my life when I thought about marriage. At the start of our relationship, I wasn't sure if we'd last, and I thought it might eventually end, but unexpectedly, things moved quickly, and we got married. When Steve proposed, I even wondered if he was truly ready for such a commitment. His response, assuring me of his dedication to caring for and protecting me, was both humbling and reassuring. Though we were excited to be newlyweds, we soon faced some difficulties. We both longed for more private time together, but it was rare. Steve's mother, Lily, was strongly opposed to our marriage, mainly due to her fear of losing him. She was especially bothered by the age difference between Steve and me. Lily demanded that we live with her as a condition for her acceptance of our marriage. Though I found this request a bit excessive, we reluctantly agreed, understanding Steve's inability to refuse his mother. My upbringing had always taught me to respect and care for parental figures, so I felt it was only fair to do my part. Despite my intentions to get along with Lily, her disapproval didn't fade. In an effort to prove our commitment to one another and gain her approval, we moved into the house we had bought, hoping it would change her mind. But our optimism was misplaced. Lily's criticisms of me grew harsher, focusing on things like household chores. Even when I explained how busy I was with work, she dismissed my words, continuing to assert her authority over me. Any attempt to stand up for myself only seemed to worsen her attitude. Steve, seeing how his mother treated me, often defended me, but this only seemed to anger Lily further. She would accuse me of influencing Steve, blaming me for his defiance. With a tear-streaked face, she would look at me with cold, piercing eyes. "This is all your fault," she'd say. "I don't understand why Steve married a woman like you." Her words came every time, and I began to feel as if I were living out some dramatic soap opera, where the wife is constantly attacked by her mother-in-law. Lily appeared to resent the fact that Steve had married a woman much older than him, and it seemed like bullying me had become her favorite pastime. Every day, it became more apparent that she was spoiled and out of control. Despite all this, I found myself caring for her as though she were my own grandmother, despite not knowing how to handle the situation. "I'm sorry, Katie," Steve would say. "It's okay," I'd reply, always thankful for his support. "Thanks for always being there for me." I couldn't help but feel sympathy for Steve. It was painful to see his mother constantly attack the woman he loved. He'd tried many times to get Lily to move out, but I always hesitated. I felt pity for Lily, believing that if I endured her behavior long enough, she might eventually come to understand and change. That was my hope. But Lily's verbal attacks on me continued. On the first New Year's Day after we were married, we attended a family gathering. Lily, who rarely left the house, was unusually cheerful, chatting happily with everyone. Her excitement was clear to all. "Katie always claims she's too busy with work, but honestly, she does nothing at all," Lily said loudly, complaining about me to our relatives. Can you imagine? In our day, that would have been totally unacceptable. I don't know where she got such poor manners. Her harsh words reached me in the kitchen, where I stood nearby. One of Steve's relatives, Lisa, who was with me, noticed my distress. "Katie, it seems like you're having a tough time, aren't you?" Lisa asked with concern. I sighed, unable to hide the truth. "Living with Lily, it's not easy," I admitted. Lisa nodded, her face full of empathy, especially with her acting like that. It felt like a weight had lifted by expressing my true feelings, and I answered, "You're right about that." Without skipping a beat, she suggested, "Why don't you talk to Helen about it?" Helen was Steve's aunt and Lily's older sister, known for her kindness and calm demeanor, but I wondered whether she would even be open to hearing me out, given that she was Lily's sister. Just then, I heard Lily's voice calling from the other room. "Katie, I'm out of drinks, why haven't you brought more?" "Sorry, I'm on it now," I said, rushing to grab more beer. Lily was chatting with her relatives, clearly tipsy. I handed her a fresh bottle of beer and a glass, but she snatched them from me, muttering, "Katie, you're so clumsy, aren't you?" before pouring the beer for a relative sitting beside her. I couldn't understand why she was acting so hostile. Pouring drinks into glasses is common sense, isn't it? "You're really lacking, Katie," she said, her voice sharp. "You really are a useless person with terrible manners." Her words made everyone uncomfortable, but Lily seemed oblivious to the tension she was causing. I realized getting upset wouldn't help, so I tried to laugh it off. "Well, that's my mother-in-law for you. She sure knows how to pour a drink, I said with a forced smile. Lily grinned, apparently pleased with herself. Are you okay, Katie? It was Helen, noticing my exhaustion. I'm so sorry about my sister. She's always been so difficult to deal with, hasn't she? Oh, no, I said, trying to downplay my frustration, but I couldn't hide it entirely. Living with Lily, is it tough? Helen asked, her concern clear. Honestly, it is. She really doesn't seem to like me, I confessed. Helen listened patiently and then offered, if you ever need someone to talk to, I'm here for you. Her kindness made me feel like I had an ally, someone who genuinely cared. For the first time in a while, I felt a bit of relief. At least I had someone who understood. Thank you, I said, feeling comforted, and I'm sorry you have to deal with all of this too. No, it's okay, Helen replied, giving me a reassuring smile. Lily had too much to drink, and I told myself she probably just lost control in the moment. I tried to excuse her behavior, even though deep down, I knew I was being far too forgiving. Her harsh words toward me never stopped, no matter how hard I tried to stay calm and avoid conflict. Steve's family gatherings happened often, and every time, Lily would push me into helping out, even when I didn't want to. Steve always told me I didn't need to go if I was busy, but Lily would insist, and I'd end up going anyway. Each time, I endured her verbal attacks. Katie, don't let a job make you arrogant, she'd snap. A wife should stand behind her husband, not beside him. Steve is a better person than you, and you're foolish to think otherwise. She never held back, even when other relatives were around, and I was left feeling small and ashamed. Steve tried to step in a few times, but I always hesitated to escalate the situation during these family events. I didn't want to make a scene. But then one day, she crossed a line I could no longer ignore. During another typical gathering filled with laughter and drinks, she said something that broke me. What does my son even see in Katie? She said casually, loud enough for everyone to hear. I should have stopped the wedding. She can't even have kids, what's the point of their marriage? She looked around, trying to get others to agree with her, her voice full of contempt. The room fell silent, Steve's hand shook, and I dropped the tray I was carrying. What did you just say, Mom? Steve asked, his voice low and tight with anger. I'm just saying, if she can't give you a child, why stay married to her? Lily replied without a hint of remorse. She's almost 40, that's why I didn't want this marriage to happen in the first place. But you didn't listen, now it's too late. I don't think Lily ever realized how deeply those words cut. Steve and I did want children. I had already started fertility treatments, but I'd kept that private, knowing she'd only use it to belittle me further. Lily didn't stop there. Katie, be honest, if you're not going to have kids, why not just get divorced? Steve's still young, he can start fresh, right? That was the final straw. Something inside me shattered. You really despise me, don't you, Lily? I said, facing her directly. Yes, I do, she replied, her smile twisted and cruel. Then let me make things clear. You're no longer welcome in my home. Please leave. She laughed, brushing it off like a joke. What are you talking about? Don't be ridiculous. I'm completely serious. You cannot stay in our house anymore, I said firmly, my voice steady. The mood in the room shifted. Our relatives slowly backed away, giving us space. If you hate me so much, why are you still living under our roof? I asked. You have no right to be here. That's not up to you, she snapped. You don't get to kick me out. Oh, but I do. The house is mine. I inherited the funds that built it. I decide who stays. She turned to Steve, searching for backup. Steve, are you seriously letting her talk to me like this? Steve stayed cold. Mom, how many times did I ask you not to treat Katie this way? I told you she built this house, didn't I? Why do you pretend not to hear? Because men are supposed to build the house, she argued. Steve shook his head. I never wanted you to move in. Katie was the one who insisted, but I've had enough. If you insult her one more time, I won't let it slide, even if you are my mother. Tears filled Lily's eyes. You're joking, right? You're on her side? I'm not on your side, Mom. I'm standing up for my wife. I can't believe my own mother would treat someone I love this way. Lily sobbed and reached out to Steve, but it was no use. You should pack your things by the end of the week, I said calmly, locking eyes with her. No, wait, Katie, I'm sorry. Let's just forget all this and go back to how things were, she begged. I'm sorry too, I said, but But I can't keep living with someone who doesn't even know how to say thank you. This is my home, and I'm asking you to leave. Steve backed me up. Mom, you heard her. Start packing. We won't be helping you. All this unfolded in front of our extended family, but hardly anyone came to Lily's defense. They had all seen how she treated me. Afterwards, Steve's Aunt Helen came over. Katie, well done. Actually, this was my idea. It was time my sister learned a lesson. Steve, you did the right thing. Thank you, Aunt Helen, Steve replied, visibly relieved. Thank you for always being there for Katie. Helen had been my quiet supporter for a long time. Whenever things got too much with Lily, I'd talk to her. She was always there to help. Don't worry about a thing, Helen said. I'll keep an eye on her from now on. You two just focus on each other. As planned, Lily left our house. She didn't go quietly, but Helen handled her firmly. This is your own doing, Helen told her. Maybe now you'll think twice before hurting others. After Lily moved out, Steve got transferred for work, and I requested a transfer too. We sold the house, paid off, thanks to my inheritance, and used the money to settle comfortably into our new life. If Lily ever passes by that house, I wonder if she feels the loneliness she once forced on me. I'm home, Steve called out as he stepped inside. Welcome back, love, I greeted him, resting a hand on my round belly. I still can't believe it, I'm going to be a dad, he beamed. We're about to start a whole new chapter, I smiled, and we'll do it together. Steve chose us, even if it meant walking away from his own mother, and whatever challenges lie ahead, I know we'll face them side by side. Marrying him was the best decision of my life, and I'll never stop being grateful for that. Thanks for watching. Until next time, stay stunned.